Florence Flutterby the third. She's a feisty character. She's a bit cheeky, she's a bit scatty, and she kind of plays a little bit silly and dumb sometimes, but she's actually quite clever, and she knows what she wants, and she's the one. She's like the mould that glues us all together. I mean, they're loving it, aren't they? It's really flowing. I think we've found a rhythm now. We know where people are laughing. We know where people are not really laughing. So we know what works. You can't really try out these things until you've got an audience. So it's kind of worked in its favour now, and we're in a really good position with the show. And I get such a buzz when everyone's kind of like, you know, cheering and screaming. I absolutely love it. So for me, we're in a really good place, and we're 2 shows in, and we're raring to go. Well, there's loads of pros and cons, but for pros, I would say the fact that, you know, when we do a 2-show day, I can be home by quarter to 8, and I'm like, yeah, I get to see the kids, and I get to be at home. And people know me, and it's nice. And for anybody that doesn't, it's nice that they get to see me maybe for the first time. So it's actually really lovely. So yeah. Well, I have to say, I forgot how hard it was, in a sense of the hours, the effort, and the rehearsals. But as soon as you get back on stage, it was like I never left. You know. It was almost like I'd morphed into 2 years ago, and 3 years ago actually. It was 2019 was my last one. So yeah, it's nice to see back with people in a theatre again. I think that's one thing that, especially for Leicester, to see people back in the theatre and it being sold out as it was tonight, it's incredible. I think this year I've not really got like a big 11 o'clock number, and I think that kind of it runs nicely with the show, because everybody's got a little bit. But this year I'm more character singing rather than actually belting out a Whitney halfway through a scene or something. So yeah, it's been a bit refreshing to do it this way. I mean, I'd love to get a really big song, but if I'm honest, it's like I've got nice songs. Milk Me Up Buttercup is it's an absolute classic. But yeah, there was a couple of songs that are so catchy that I'm like, on the way home I'm like singing them, and I think I'm going to be singing them all the way up until probably June next year, because they're such catchy songs. But yeah, it's a really nice show. There's a nice mix of songs on there, and even Scott Mills getting to sing his little ditty at the beginning is great. So yeah.
So like one thing about this one, I feel like the fairies sometimes can feel like a side character on their own, like they're doing the scenes.
Yeah.
Start scene,
Yeah.
But I feel like you're more integrated with the characters.
Absolutely, because being in Panto, I've always said to people that have ever hired me for Panto, especially Imagine, and they've listened, and I've said, look, I really want to be more involved. I don't want to just sit in the wings and come out, wave my wand and go back in. Give me something to do, and they've listened, and it's worked really well. Give me some funny stuff, because I can do it. It's like it's a really nice mix, and I do get to get in the thick of it as well. And doing 12 days is a highlight for me. I love it. I absolutely love it. I just wish I was in a better costume to be able to run down to the audience and really squirt some people. But unfortunately, I can't. So
I'm glad you didn't.
I know, but like a few years ago I did, and. There was a few years ago when we did Panto, there was like a mum or a dad and we always found them that would use their kids as a human shield. So I would give the child the water pistol and they would squirt their mum or dad, and it was brilliant, so good. And I like the Beanstalk growing scene, because I love the song that we sing there, Tonight Belongs to You. It's a brilliant song, and the kids go crazy when they see like the beanstalk growing and the UV scene, and it's such a great song, and I get to do a little bit of character acting in that as well, so like with the song as well, so it's lovely. I really think it works well, that song.